What if I told you there is a place on Earth where no country owns the land, where humans are only visitors, and where nature still rules completely? A place so cold, so vast, and so untouched that it feels alien. This is Antarctica, the coldest, the driest, the windiest continent on Earth. No cities, no roads, no permanent population, just ice, silence, and secrets buried beneath kilometers of frozen time. Today, we travel to the end of the world to understand what Antarctica is, why it matters, and what it's trying to tell us. Antarctica sits at the southernmost edge of our planet, wrapped tightly around the South Pole. It is completely surrounded by the Southern Ocean, cut off from the rest of the world by powerful icy currents. This isolation is not just geographical, it's environmental. Antarctica is larger than Europe, larger than Australia, yet it has no cities, no towns, no highways. Almost the entire continent, around 98%, is buried under ice. Ice so thick that if you drilled straight down, you'd pass through kilometers before touching solid rock. Beneath that frozen surface lie mountain ranges taller than the Alps, deep valleys and landscapes shaped long before humans existed. Antarctica is not just a place on the map, it is a hidden continent, locked away from time. Antarctica is the most extreme environment our planet has to offer. This is not ordinary cold, it is life-threatening cold. Temperatures here drop so low that breathing becomes painful and survival turns into a constant struggle. The lowest temperature ever recorded on Earth, minus 89.2 degrees Celsius, was measured right here. At such extremes, metal snaps, fuel freezes, machines fail, and exposed skin can suffer damage in less than a minute. But cold is only part of the story. Antarctica is also the windiest continent on Earth. Katabatic winds, dense freezing air rushing downhill, can roar at hurricane speeds, turning ice into a weapon. And despite all this ice, Antarctica is one of the driest places on Earth. Some regions receive almost no snowfall at all, making this frozen land a true polar desert. Cold, wind, dryness. Together, they create a world that pushes survival to its absolute limits. Antarctica's ice is not just frozen water. It is a global force that shapes the entire planet. This vast, silent continent stores around 70% of Earth's fresh water and nearly 90% of all its ice. If even a small fraction of this ice were to melt, sea levels across the world would rise dramatically, reshaping coastlines and threatening millions of lives. But Antarctica's importance goes far beyond sea level. Locked deep within its ice layers are detailed records of Earth's atmosphere, stretching back hundreds of thousands of years. Tiny air bubbles, trapped and preserved under immense pressure, act like natural time capsules, revealing how temperatures, carbon dioxide, and other gases have changed through past ice ages and warm periods. These frozen archives help scientists understand how our climate works and how it might change in the future. Antarctica also plays a critical role in driving the planet's oceans. Here, extremely cold and dense water sinks to the ocean floor, setting massive global currents into motion. These currents circulate heat and nutrients around the Earth, regulating climate patterns from South America to Asia to Europe. Without Antarctica anchoring this system, global weather patterns would destabilize, oceans would behave unpredictably, and Earth's climate balance would begin to collapse. Without Antarctica, The climate system we depend on would fall into chaos. At first glance, Antarctica appears completely lifeless, a frozen desert of ice, wind, and silence. But look closer, and a hidden world begins to emerge. Against impossible odds, life has learned not just to survive here, but to endure. Emperor penguins face the coldest breeding conditions on the planet, raising their chicks during the brutal Antarctic winter in total darkness, with temperatures that can drop below -60 degrees Celsius. They huddle together, sharing warmth, taking turns at the edges to protect one another from the killing cold. Seals rest on vast ice shelves, their bodies perfectly adapted, insulated by thick layers of fat that protect them from freezing waters just below the surface. They move effortlessly between ice and ocean, masters of two worlds. Beneath the ice-covered sea, far from sunlight, krill swarm in staggering numbers, forming the foundation of Antarctica's entire food web. These tiny creatures support whales, fish, penguins, and countless seabirds across the Southern Ocean. And even deeper, within the ice itself, microscopic life survives. Bacteria remain alive without sunlight, without warmth, and with almost no nutrients, pushing the boundaries of what life can be. Every organism here is a masterpiece of adaptation, shaped by extremes over thousands of years. Antarctica proves that life doesn't need comfort to exist. It needs balance, resilience, and time. Antarctica was not always frozen. Millions of years ago, this vast landmass was part of a warm supercontinent called Gondwana. It sat much farther north, bathed in sunlight, connected to continents that are now Africa, South America, Australia, and India. This ancient Antarctica was alive. Dense forests covered the land, rivers flowed freely, the climate was mild, even temperate. It supported diverse wildlife, including early mammals, towering ancient trees, and roaming dinosaurs. Fossils of massive tree trunks, leaf imprints, and dinosaur bones have been discovered deep beneath today's ice, silent proof of a world long gone. But the planet was changing. As tectonic plates slowly shifted, Antarctica began drifting southward, moving toward the pole, away from the sun's warmth. At the same time, it became isolated from warm ocean currents, allowing cold waters to circulate around the continent. Over millions of years, temperatures steadily dropped. Snow no longer melted in summer. Layer upon layer accumulated. Ice sheets grew thicker, spreading outward, reshaping the land. Forests vanished, rivers froze, life retreated. What we see today, a continent of ice and silence, is not a sudden change, but the final stage of a transformation millions of years in the making. Beneath Antarctica's vast ice sheet lies a hidden world, a network of over 400 subglacial lakes sealed away in complete darkness. These lakes remain liquid not because of warmth, but due to immense pressure and heat rising from deep within the Earth. The most famous among them, Lake Vostok, rests beneath nearly 4 kilometers of solid ice, isolated from the surface like a world frozen in time. This ancient lake has been completely sealed off for millions of years. No sunlight has ever reached its waters, no contact with the modern world, only crushing pressure and absolute isolation. And yet, Scientists believe microbial life may still exist there, organisms adapted to survive where survival should be impossible. Studying these hidden lakes gives researchers a rare window into how life can persist in the most extreme environments on Earth. It also provides powerful clues about where life might exist elsewhere. If microbes can survive beneath kilometers of ice on Antarctica, then similar life could exist beneath the frozen surfaces of icy moons like Europa and Enceladus, or even on distant frozen planets. In this way, Antarctica becomes more than a continent. It is a natural laboratory and a doorway to understanding life beyond our world.
No one is born in Antarctica. No one retires here. There are no permanent cities, no native population, no long-term homes. Humans are only temporary guests on this frozen continent. Scientists and support crews live inside isolated research stations scattered across thousands of kilometers of ice and rock. During the brief Antarctic summer, when the sun never sets, around 4,000 people may be present at once. But when winter arrives, the light disappears. The population drops sharply. Fewer than 1,000 people remain, cut off from the rest of the world. For months, there is only darkness, endless night, no flights, no easy escape. Temperatures plunge so low that outdoor exposure can be fatal and rescue missions become nearly impossible. Daily life here demands strict discipline, careful routines, constant safety checks, and complete reliance on one another. Teamwork is not optional. Mental strength is essential. Isolation, confinement, and distance from family push the human mind to its limits. And yet, people return, year after year, season after season, driven by curiosity, by endurance, and by the need to understand our planet at its most extreme.
Antarctica is unique not only in its extreme nature, but in its place in global politics. In 1959, during the height of Cold War tensions, nations set aside rivalry and came together to exploitation were forbidden, preserving the continent from commercial destruction. Instead, the treaty promoted shared scientific research, open access to data, and cooperation across borders. Scientists from rival nations work side by side here, studying climate, space, oceans, and life at the edge of survival. Strict environmental protections ensure Antarctica remains one of the last truly untouched places on Earth. In a world divided by conflict, competition, and political tension, Antarctica stands as a rare example, proof that cooperation is possible and that humanity can choose knowledge over power and preservation over profit. Antarctica is changing, and those changes are accelerating faster than expected. The continent that once seemed eternal is now showing visible signs of stress. Ice shelves are cracking, some collapsing in massive sudden events. Glaciers are thinning and flowing toward the ocean at increasing speeds. Sea ice patterns are shifting, forming later, breaking up earlier, and behaving in unfamiliar ways. These changes are not random. West Antarctica is especially vulnerable, with vast ice sheets losing mass far faster than scientists once predicted. Warm ocean water is reaching beneath the ice, weakening it from below, while rising air temperatures accelerate melting from above. This loss of ice contributes directly to rising global sea levels, levels that threaten low-lying islands, coastal cities, and millions of people worldwide. What happens in Antarctica does not stay in Antarctica. The continent acts like an early warning system for the entire planet. The changes unfolding here today are signals of what lies ahead, a preview of the future guides storm systems and influences rainfall in regions thousands of miles away. It controls sea levels, holding back the rise of oceans that could reshape coastlines everywhere. It stabilizes Earth's climate, acting as a cornerstone of the delicate balance that allows life to thrive. The choices humanity makes, how we use energy, the pollution we create, the care we take for the environment, are all written here, etched into the ice, and reflected in the future of this frozen continent. Protecting Antarctica is not just about saving ice. It is about safeguarding a vital system that connects oceans, air, and life around the globe. It is about preserving balance, security, and hope for future generations, so they inherit a planet still capable of sustaining life, where climate, water, and ecosystems remain in harmony. Antarctica has endured it all. Asteroids crashing from space, millions of years of relentless ice ages, and massive shifts in our planet's very structure. It has survived events that reshaped the Earth itself, standing as a silent witness to the planet's most extreme moments. But what it faces now is unlike anything before. For the first time in its long history, the greatest threat does not come from nature, from asteroids, volcanoes, or shifting tectonic plates. The threat comes from us, humans. The ice here is ancient, millions of years old, holding stories of climates past and warnings for the future. The message is clear. Antarctica is watching us. And the future it reflects back is not just its own, it is ours to face, shaped by the choices we make today.
Antarctica doesn't speak. It doesn't shout. It whispers. Through melting ice, through shifting oceans, through changing skies. It stands at the edge of the world, watching, waiting. The question is not what will happen to Antarctica. The real question is, what will we do before the ice remembers us?